Oh,
Okay, we talked about nerves.
We learned about nerves.
soul.
Nerves.
Nerves.
Love.
I think,
Identity.
okay, wait.
Love.
About how calming down when you're too mad.
Okay, too many people are talking. We did talk about nerves, but the lesson was not about nerves. What was the lesson about yesterday?
Our identity.
Yes, thank you.
Identity. Soul.
Yes, our identity. How many
And
identities
soul.
should a mu'min have? The more the identities, the better it is?
No.
How many identities a mu'min should have?
One.
One identity. It's not that
Teacher, I'm
you put it at one place. It's so funny. There in the masjid when we go to Ramadan, or I don't know if you notice that the girls would. That the girls come with the hijab and everything on, and they're leaving before they leave, they take the hijab off and put them in the bag, right? When you look at the same girl outside, then you wouldn't even recognize them. Not the one identity. They're keeping two identities. One for the masjid, one for the outside. Is that good? That's
No.
a good thing. Yes, Mariam?
I'm co-host.
Okay, because Mohsin was sitting on this. Let's
Oh,
take away from. Okay, so to keep one identity is not easy. I would say, honestly, it's my honest opinion. For some people, it comes natural. For some people, it comes natural. It's easier for them. But for most of the people, this is the hardest thing to do. It is the hardest thing to do to keep one identity. Why? Because you need to be really brave to have one identity. And today we are going to talk about one of my favorite heroes. And we'll see that how he kept one identity in every situation. And his name is Suhayb Ar Rumi. He's not bin Rumi. Fatima, he's not. Did I say Suhayb bin Rumi? Fatima, check the notes. If I said that, it's wrong, okay?
Okay.
And let me know that I made the mistake, so I am careful next time. It's Suhayb Ar Rumi. Suhayb from the Rome. People used to think that he is the bin Rumi, because most of the time the Arabs, their names were Rumis. Or actually people thought he's from Rome, right? Was he from Rome? Yes, he was. How is he in Mecca? Very interesting story. I'm going to inshallah talk about that today. I don't know. I know this story so well that the notes I gave Fatma, Fatma, oops, Sister Fatma is making presentations for me, right? I gave her the note presentation. Mute, guys. Hiba, mute. I can hear myself back from Hiba's thing. And this I just copied and gave her, but I know more. I know this story better than any website or anything. Yumna, you have a problem, Yumna?
What?
Keep your hands to yourself. Okay. Notebook is to write. Notebook is to write. Anya, nice. Okay, so Suhaib Ar Rumi. Let me tell you, I don't know if this presentation is going to go with the notes today or not. I had this fear. I did spend some time in the morning on this, but he is somebody that when we talk about him, we learn that he has a single identity. He has one identity, and he was authentic. Authentic is pure, authentic is something that there is no copy of it. Suppose when we are talking about hadith, right? It's example. When we do hadith, we say, is it authentic hadith? Means there is no mixture of the words. Is it purely from Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? So authentic mean pure. Keeping one identity. What identity would we keep? What is our personal identity, or we'll make up an identity? Which if we have to keep one identity, I'm talking about you think. If you have to keep one identity, which identity would you keep? The one you have to pretend, or the one you have your own? Which is easier?
The one you have your own.
Yes, the one you have your own, right? So he has the pure identity, authentic identity. And Suhaib, it's with the swad. Let me tell you how his name is written in Arabic. So that if you read it, it's with the swad. Okay? Ha, ya, and then ba. Ha, ya, and ba. Suhayb Ar Rumi. Suhayb Ar Rumi. I'll start from his childhood. He was 5 years old. He was in Iraq. He was born in Iraq, where he was very white. You know how white people, Italian. Do you guys know how Italians look like?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
They usually have brown hair and they have fair complexion.
Yes.
They are tall and they're cute. They're very cute kids. So Suhaib, he's a very cute kid. He's everybody loves him because of his cuteness. His father is the governor of one of the provinces of Iraq. Okay? The Romans at the time were very cruel people. The Romans would attack the other countries. The Romans would attack the cities. No one. Okay, Yumna, is that you?
No.
Who is no one? We don't have space for no ones. We need people with identities. So Suhaib, sorry, the Romans, they would attack with their big armies, they would kill the men, they would take the kids and the women, and they would make them their slaves. So Suhaib with his mother, they went for summer vacation. They went for a summer vacation on their resort, which was obviously on a beach in Iraq. Father, who is the governor, he did not go. He loved Suhaib so much. And the father did not go because obviously he has job to do. So he sends his guards, he sends his soldiers, Suhaib and the mom, they go to, and another brother, they go for vacation. The Byzantines, the Romans, they attacked. Romans killed the guards and they took the mom and the two boys. It's a heartbreaking story. They took the mom and the boys, they separated them. They sold them in different markets. Why did they separate them? Why did they sell them in the different markets? What do you guys think?
Because when they would be together, they could plan together something to how to break out or something like that. That's why they separated them so they can't break out or have any help.
Yes. Now, Suhaib, when he was with his father taught him good things. He's only 5 years old, but he remembered who he is. Suhaib is growing up. He's being sold in the market once, then twice, then thrice. He never saw his mother. He would always keep his eyes on, other people that maybe he sees his brother or a mother, but he never did. Now, because there were human markets, people would go take their slaves to the markets and sell. So one owner would sell to the next owner with more price, and he's growing up, so he's getting more and more expensive because he was 5 years old. Imagine, now he's 8, now he's a teenager, now he's a man. So he's expensive because he's strong. He can do more work for you. They would put him, when he's grown up, they would put him in chains at night. They would put him in chains because he's strong, and there was very much chance that he's going to break and he's going to run. Suhaib says that I used to think that whoever God is out there, he will destroy the word because there is no coming out of this awful word. He's not just thinking about himself. He sees what happens to the slaves. He sees that even when they are sick, they're beaten up because they're not doing their job. He sees that. And he sees that how the women are being treated. The Romans, what they would do, they would capture people, they would chain them and they would send them to battles or the wars while the person is chained. How much can you fight when you are chained? How much can you defend yourself when you're chained? Why would they chain them? They would tell them, you either fight or die. So their feet are chained and they're they're fighting with their swords. Suhaib says that I thought there is no way that this world can be fixed because this have gone to its worst. He tried to escape many times, but he did not give up. He remembered who he was. See, his pure himself is helping him. And guess what? One day he heard someone talking about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There is a prophet in Mecca who talks about equal rights, who talks about slavery being not a good thing. He decided to break out and go to Mecca. And he did. And he did. He broke out and he went to Mecca. When he reached Mecca, a man with a fair complexion, a man with the golden hair, a man who is very handsome, tall. People thought he's one of the Romans. Yes, remember the Romans looked like that, right? But he is not actually a Roman. Who is he? Where was he from?
Makkah.
No.
Iraq.
From Iraq.
Iraq. Thank you, Umar, for listening. He was from Iraq. He's Arab. He's not Meccan. He's not Roman. He's Arab. But he looks like he is Roman. So people called him Suhayb Ar Rumi. Suhayb, one from Rome. Now, what happens in Mecca? Suhayb is very smart. He grew up with the Romans. He have seen the worst of the world. When he joined the Quraysh tribes, he's not one of them, but because he was smart, he started to work for the richest person of Quraysh. His name is Abdullah bin Jidan. If you remember, I told you about him before. I told you, remember his name. I'll quickly tell you again. Abdullah bin Jidan is the one who is when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam lifted that stone, Hajr Aswad, and put it in the wall, Abdullah bin Jidan was present there when he stopped the fight. Abdullah bin Jidan was a very rich person of Quraysh. Remember the story, the man who found a lot of wealth, and he asked the people of the Quraysh, what should I do? And they said, do the business, use it, but be nice to people and do good for people. And so he used to host all the people who come for Umrah for free. You remember his name or no? Nobody remembers the story? Okay.
I remember it.
Yes. His name was Abdullah bin Jidan. So Suhayb Ar Rumi is now working for Abdullah bin Jidan. He started working for him as a business person, right? As a maybe worker. But quickly he moves on to be a manager. And then in few years, he is a business partner with Abdullah bin Jidan. Now imagine a business partner with the richest person. Today, if Elon Musk asks you to be his business partner.
You would be a millionaire.
So he was a millionaire. Suhayb Rumi, who was born in Iraq, who is the slave of Romans, is a millionaire in Mecca. You can see he's one of the richest people now. Obviously, he came here because he heard about Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So he did accept Islam. Now, when he accepted Islam, what happens? Everything is fine because he's with Abdullah bin Jidan. Nobody can say anything to him. He's with the strongest person. He's his business partner. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered Muslims to move to Medina, every single Muslim was ordered to move. Suhayb Ar Rumi, his identity as a Muslim, he has to leave. He has to leave because he's ordered to leave. He doesn't say that, okay, I have such a good business here. I am the business partner with one of the mushrik of Makkah. If I leave, I'll have to start from scratch. Look at me, the kind of clothing I'm wearing, the kind of shoes I have, the kind of life I'm living, the kind of money I have. He has to choose his true identity. What do you think he would choose? Hmm?
Yeah.
He would choose to move, right?
Again from scratch.
They all come from where? Now, he valued his identity as a Muslim above all else, right? He now, what he's doing is he's aligning one character. He's aligning his one character. Pay attention, okay? Aligning his Muslim identity with his life now. Because if he chooses to stay, then he can have a very easy life, but he has to make a very important decision. You guys are going to help me to mute the one who are not talking to me, okay? So, in another interesting story. Hamza bin Abdul Muttalib. When you talk to your mom, then you can keep muted, sweetheart, okay? When you talk to me, then you can unmute. Now, Hamza bin Abdul Muttalib, Umar bin Khattab, anhuma, they come and they make announcement. I am leaving Makkah. Whoever wants to stop me, come stop me. Nobody dares to stop them. Bilal anhu, Jabir bin, what was his name? Oh, I forgot. Yasir's son, Ammar bin Yasir. They're slaves. They hide and they run. So many of the Muslims, they sneaked out and they ran. What should Suhaib do? He has a lot of money to take with. He doesn't have strong tribe because he is not from Quraysh. Nobody's there to protect him. If he leaves and he takes all his wealth, it's a lot to take with, right? So he has a very different situation here. He's not a slave. He's not the leader. He can't announce to go. He has to hide and leave, but he cannot take everything with him. What would you do in this situation? One by one.
I would leave all my money because I have the experience. If I was Suhaib, I had the experience, so I can start a new one in Medina, like a new business.
Omar, this is a very good answer. I really want you to think, is it easy? Because I want you guys to feel it. I agree with your answer. I want you to feel it. When I think about it, it's not easy. Because even though if I have experience, starting from scratch, it's not easy, right? It took so many years, 13 years to make that money. So if I leave everything, I'm wasting 13 years of my life, leaving 13 years of my suppose look at us, whatever we have in our houses today. If we have to leave everything, would it be easy? When
No,
people have
but
fire
if I'm going to Jannah for it, yes, if it's
good, good. Yes, mashallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, guys, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make you guys, keep you this strong. It's really, you guys have really one identities, mashallah. So what did the Makkans do? Remember the Quraysh, right? Abu Jahl and Abu Sufyan, and they knew that he's gonna try to take his gold and his wealth with, and he's gonna try to sneak, because that's what I would do too. I try to sneak out my money because it's my money. And I know that when we go to the new city, we are gonna need more money for other Muslims too, right? Because everybody's going empty-handed. And I have my money and I should take my gold with so that I can distribute in Muslims. We are gonna need it. They knew he's gonna do that. So what did they do? They house arrested him. They put the guards on his door and they said that you cannot leave till we tell you to. You cannot go anywhere. So Suhaib is in his house, sitting, looking out from the windows, 1 day, 2 days, 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, 4 nights. He's waiting and waiting, and he's good at running away, remember? Right? He ran from the Romans, but now it's little bit. different situation. So one night he thought enough is enough. He played a trick with the guards. Remember, there were no washrooms in the house, right? People used to go outside for the washrooms. So he put his hand on his stomach and he said, "Oh my God, it really hurts. It really hurts. I have to go out. I have to go to the washroom. I have to go to the washroom." So they let him go. He comes back. After a few minutes, he starts doing that again. They say, "What's wrong with you?" He says, "My stomach. I don't know. Something is wrong with my stomach today." So they let him go again. He comes back after a few minutes, he says the same thing. So he's going again and again. Finally, the guards, they got tired of him and they know that, okay, he comes back, right? Every time he goes, he comes back and he has a stomach problem. He's not going to be able to run anywhere. So this time when he goes and the guards are not, you know how guards are getting easier and easier on him, and he just runs towards the hills outside of the Makkah. The guards did not realize till he reached in the outskirts of the mountains. And the one who went to Makkah, they know how many mountains are there. So he is on one of the mountain when they almost captured him. They didn't capture him, they saw him. He's standing on top of the hill and the guards are standing at the bottom. Now, Suhaib did manage to take his bow and arrow. Okay? Even in this situation, he did take his weapon. So the guards tell him, "So hey, you can't run. We know where you are. We spotted you, so you can't run. We will capture you. So you better come down." Give me 1 second. I have to drink water. Meanwhile, you can tell me that what do you think he would do? Because he can't run now. He
What?
can't.
He would use his bow and arrow to shoot.
How many can he shoot? That's the thing. Even if he shoots these one, then more are gonna come because now they know where he is.
He would
They-
tell him where all of like he left all of his riches at home, so he can tell them to go there.
Do you know this story?
Yes.
Okay, so he tells them that you know how good I am in shooting. I'll shoot each one of you, and each one of you are gonna die. I don't care if I get captured later, but you will die. That is true. That is, I'm sure, and you know that too, because I'm standing on top and you're at the bottom. I can see you better. I will shoot each one of you and you will die. So let's make a bargain. You let me go. I tell you where all my wealth is. You go and take my wealth. So now there is this identity problem because if the Makkans, if they let him go and they take the wealth, they're not fulfilling their responsibility, right? As guards, their job is that they don't let him go. But on the other hand, Suhaib has has to make a decision that either he keeps his Muslim identity or he stays in Makkah. Actually, I'm sorry, this offer was made by the guards. They said, "We'll let you go if you, we will not." Actually, they said, they said, "Suhaib, you made all that fortune here. We will never let you take that. You came empty-handed. If you want to go, you will have to go empty-handed. You came empty-handed in Makkah, right? If you want to leave, you will have to leave empty-handed." So Suhaib had only few seconds to make a decision, and he did. He told them where his money is. He told them that in that part of my house, if you dig, all my wealth is under the ground. Now, when I come to this part of the story, I always think that why would they trust him? Why do you guys tell me? Why would they trust him? Because they did trust him. They said, "Okay, you can go. We'll take your wealth and you can go." But why would they trust him? Wouldn't they say, "Come back, give us the wealth, and then you leave"? Because we don't know if you're telling us the truth. Maybe you're taking your wealth with you. No?
He never lies to anybody.
Yes. Good. Identity. See? His identity is that he never lies to anybody. Even the enemies, they
But
believe
he did lie.
that was I will talk about that sometime too, inshallah. Okay. I'll tell you about that. That is called Toria. And we will at some point, inshallah, we'll explain it to you guys that what Toria is. Anyhow, Suhaib Rumi made the trade and it shows his Muslim identity. And every day, so many times we have to choose our Muslim identity. When I'm stepping out of the house, I have to choose my Muslim identity. When I put my gown on my beautiful dress, and when I cover my beautiful hair, right? I'm choosing that identity. When so many times you guys have to choose your identity. When your friends are using bad language and you remove yourself from there, you're choosing that identity. It is every second of our lives, we have to choose the identity, and we always, always have to choose our Muslim identity. When Suhaib Rumi, he reached Makkah, no, sorry, Medina, Prophet Muhammad SAW was still in Quba. When he reached there, he had eye infection. He couldn't see from one of his eye because he walked. Having all that richness, having all that money, right? He could buy maybe 1,000 camels to ride, but he walked because he didn't have anything now. And he's alone. So he got sick. His feet are bleeding. He has eye infection. When he reached Quba, which is close to Medina, the companions did not recognize him. Prophet Muhammad SAW did not recognize him. He's the same dude. People used to call him Rumi because they thought he's so handsome. They could not recognize him. They thought it is some beggar with the ripped clothes and an infected closed eye because he had, the eye is closed and there is a big swelling on it, so he can't see. He was so hungry. When the companions saw him, when he came close, they said, we think it's Suhaib Rumi. So they brought him in, they gave him shower, they gave him food. He was so hungry that he was just shoving the food in his mouth. For how many days he was hungry. So Umar Azir made a joke.
Did he say Bismillah?
Sorry?
You know when he was washing the food and what did he say Bismillah?
Obviously, that's identity. When we have identity, we don't forget those things. So Umar Azir made a joke. He said, look at Suhaib. He's eating so much with one eye. And Suhaib Rumi, even though he's hungry and he's eating, he said, oh, you know what? I don't eat with my eyes. So even in that situation, they were happy and they were joking. And so see, Suhaib Rumi, what do you guys think that I'm going to ask you guys some questions. So let's see. What challenge you think that Suhaib Rumi is facing?
Wealth, because he didn't have any money now.
Yeah, he doesn't have any money. The challenges that he faced before, I mean, from Makkah, from choosing the Muslim identity in Makkah, what are the challenges that he's facing there? A very tough decision. That's why Umar Azir used to say that actually when Prophet Muhammad saw him, and when Prophet Muhammad heard his story, Prophet Muhammad made a very famous, very important statement. He said that, Suhaib, you made the best trade. He gave all that money, as Umar said, Haris said. He gave all that wealth to buy what? What did he buy with that wealth?
Jannah.
Jannah. Now imagine if you had to give up everything in this dunya and you're sure that you're going to get Jannah. This means that when Prophet Muhammad told him this, that he did get Jannah. He's going to go to Jannah. Because Prophet Muhammad said, you made a very successful trade. And Umar used to say that I way Suhaib means I wish that was me. I wish that was me. That the grace stopped me and I had to give all my wealth. Because remember, Umar brought everything with, right? Most of, not everything, but most of. So Umar was kind of like, oh my God, I wish it was me. You know how you guys, it's a positive competition, right? Race towards Jannah. So we see that Suhaib Rumi, how he is keeping his identity. And the cards that I shared with you guys, I don't know if you did that during your class. I would like you to, if you did not, in your breakout rooms, I would like you to do those, because then you will understand that how in different situations you keep your Muslim identity. Okay, how many of you did work on them during breakout rooms? Which breakout room did? Tell me the name of the mentor. I know Michelle is going to do today. Sister Amber did that yesterday, right? You don't remember what I'm talking about? Okay, I'll show you in a bit. Okay. But I really want you to this week. I will share those cards with you, and I want you to go through those cards and think about them, or maybe you can discuss with your parents that how you will keep your Muslim identity in different situations. Because the challenges will come. You won't have challenges in your life? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Challenges will come. You practice it now, then how you're going to keep your Muslim identity. Because when the challenge comes, then it is not time to learn, right? When your foot suppose if you're, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect you. If you, I'll give you Zainab's example because Zainab is here. Zainab broke her arm. Zainab, your arm was hurt, right? Zainab fell and then, yes. So is that the time that I should say, Zainab, come to the class, I'm going to teach you how sabr is. And I'm going to teach you that when we are hurt, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is testing us. Is that the time to learn? Is that the time to learn, or is that the time to implement what you have already?
No.
But before that, you're supposed to learn it.
That is the time to do what you learn, right? So Zainab said that Allah is testing me. She said that at that time, Allah is testing my sabr. Zainab is only what? Zainab, are you 5 years old? 6. Zainab is only 6 years old. Why did Zainab say that? Because he already learned. That's her identity. He did not forget her Muslim identity. Sometimes when we have maybe a boo-boo, something hurts, or we have a headache, or we have a fever, or something that is happening that we don't like, that's not the time for me to teach you what your identity is. That is the time that you're expressing your identity. So you this week are going to check what is the identity that you most of the time you're acting upon. What is your identity? Are you a liar? Are you someone who has no sabr? Who whines over small things? Are you someone who love yourself so much that you're not kind to other people? You're selfish? What is your Muslim? What is your identity? Haris, did you say something?
No.
Haris, see, he said Haris does what a lot. Fadil is saying something, telling on you. So
No.
we all have to check our own identities. I think my identity with some people, I get really angry very fast. Yes.
That's
What
not
did you say?
good.
Not with
Oh.
everybody. I have a lot of sabr with most of the people, but with some people, I've been working and working and working, and I don't know why it's not working. I'm working.
telling mom.
Hmm?
I'm telling mom.
Don't tell your mom.
I'm telling my mom.
Oh, you're telling your mom. Your mom is not going to be able to do anything. I have to work on myself.
Well, stop being rude. Oh, that's
Oh,
not
you're not talking to
nice.
me. What's happening, Heather? Mute. Who are you fighting with, Heather?
No one.
Heather, what's wrong with you? I really have to see Heather. I think I should go to Montreal. Heather, you live in Montreal?
Nah, Alberta.
Oh, that's too far for me.
I don't know why would you expect I live in Montreal? By now I would be speaking like je suis.
No, Zainab lives in Montreal. Zainab, you speak French? Zainab is not here today. Well, she will watch the recording and then she'll smile that he said Zainab. Okay.
Bonjour, mon ami. Okay.
The one who loves Kaaba. Is he here? No. Anyhow, your identity shows when you are in trouble. Remember that. It could be the trouble that you're angry. It could be the trouble that you're sick. It could be the trouble that you get hurt, or any situation. That is the time when your identity is shown. Okay. Now, Suhayb Rumi Razila Ta'ala anhu, his authenticity and his commitment it inspires others too. Because we learn from him. That doesn't matter what situation. I learned from him. I know, Alhamdulillah, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never put us in that situation. But when it comes to money or giving up things, inshallah, it will be easy because we have a very good story. We have a legacy. We say we are inheriting his legacy. We know that you are the son of a governor, you get kidnapped, you are a slave, and then you become millionaire again, right? And then you give up everything for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then you become rich again. He wasn't very rich in Medina. Maybe now he understood that making money is not the purpose of life. So he didn't make a lot of money, but he wasn't poor either. He was okay. Like Umar said, he has the skill now. So he won't die with hunger. What did you learn from Suhayb Rumi RA? Tell me.
Had one identity only.
Hmm? Keeping single identity?
Only
Suhaib had
only have one identity
Suhaib had one identity.
And stick to it. Right?
have a Muslim identity.
He has an identity.
Always start from scratch.
No, not always start from scratch. But you could always start from scratch.
Always escape from people.
Yeah, or you can escape from any bad situation.
No,
Never give up. Never
You
give up.
play the trick
The
on the
situation is,
gods.
if the
For me,
situation
this is my secret code in order to get me a secret bow and arrow that's invisible. You have to say no, 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 no.
better, let's stick to the lesson, honey.
He played a trick on the gods.
Oh yeah. So one more thing that we learned from Suhayb Rumi RA is that never give up. I mean, other slaves from Romans, they never left, they never ran away because they thought they cannot do it, right? And then there were some people in Makkah, they did not leave because they thought they can't leave. So never give up. Never give up.
Are we
You
gonna start breakout rooms?
yes, you're going soon.
Okay.
In your class, you guys are going to talk about this, that how you can apply Suhayb Rumi's example in your own lives, okay? Inshallah. And this is for your breakout room too. And this too. So I think single identity is important. This is the lesson that we learned this week. Inshallah, let's follow it. Let's do our work. Those cards, I will send them to you in your Rising Star group. You make sure that you discuss those cards during the week. It's very, very, very important. Okay. When I see your videos, you're gonna make your videos. When I see your videos, then inshallah it will help me too. Maybe you can remind me. Okay, say I don't know how. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. You guys need to help me. There are some certain people. They know how to push my buttons.
Huh?
They know how to make me angry. And then when they make me angry, they make me angry on purpose, and I do become angry. I cannot stay strong.
Oh.
So you guys are gonna help me with that, okay? This is your homework.
What?
How can I make myself strong? How can I work on my identity? That doesn't matter what situation is, I don't forget that I am someone who has a lot of sabr and I don't become angry easily. Okay? حمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.